Now on Traxx FM.
Welcome to this week's edition of Spectrum on Traxx FM. It's calling you, keeping company on the show today, as well as for this particular episode of Spectrum, where we are zooming into the importance, of course, of mental well-being and, in particular, caring for your mental health during the pandemic. Yeah, here to talk to us more about this very important issue. I'm a senior lecturer from the University of Malaya and also a registered counselor herself. Dr. Ida Hardina Ahmad Tarbi joins me via the phone lines today. First of all, welcoming Dr. Ida over the phone lines. Thank you so much, Doctor, for being with us. Good morning. Here we go. Sorry about that. Good morning, Dr. Ida. Now we can.
All right, good morning.
Hi, appreciate you being with us, Doctor, as well as taking time out.
I'm glad to be here.
Yes, I'm sure it's a busy schedule for you with continued lectures and so on. And also, I'm sure, with your counseling work. Yeah, so we appreciate it. So let's start at the most fundamental, right, from the medical perspective, right, from the overall well-being perspective, right? Exactly what is mental health?
Okay, because I am a counselor, I would like to explain from the counseling perspective or the psychological perspective.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm not so much of, I'm not a medical doctor.
Understood.
Okay. So mental health is actually includes our total well-being, emotional, psychological, and social well-being. Because if you have a good mental health, it involves the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act. Okay? And somebody with good mental health will usually be able to handle stress better than those who don't have a good mental health. Okay? And those with good mental health can connect with others more effectively. Okay? And are able to make good choices in our life. We often keep our emotion in control. So if you have all this, and of course many more factors, that will mean that you have a good mental health.
Overall, right? This is something that's very important for us. Now, a lot has been said about the overall quality of our mental well-being these days. And having said that as well, what are some of the key signs and warning signs, and are there different stages to them? If one is stricken with poor mental health, tell us.
Okay, all right. So as we know now, the pandemic is being a toll on so many people, and maybe some of us have challenges in terms of our emotions, our thinking, and also our physical well-being. Okay, so some of the early signs that we can see is somebody have a challenge on their mental health. Is first, maybe it can be seems like just a normal sign, but if, for example, you're eating too much or you're sleeping too much, that might be signs that you have to get yourself improve your mental health a bit. I mean, taking care of what you're doing. Yeah, be careful about if you're feeling too tired, too exhausted, and you seems like losing hope on things that happen around you. You feel that you feel hopeless, you feel helpless, okay? And maybe some of us start to be forgetful of things. We start to get upset easily, okay? And it is understood that it's understandable that nowadays we get worried. But if you are worried about so many things and it all comes at once, so please be careful about that, because over worrying can actually affect your mental health. Okay? So these are terms of mood swings. You know, your emotions. You have this mood swing. Sometimes you can't even explain why it happens. And for some people, it can be displayed in terms of their behavior. They might go towards aggression. They might just pick up a fight with somebody for no reason. Because they feel so angry inside, and they have to display it in terms of their behavior. So these are also signs of mental health. The early warning signs. Okay, and nowadays that we often hear about suicidal issues and all that, do be careful if you start thinking about harming yourself or harming others. Okay? Because harming yourself would definitely not something that we not something normal. Okay.
Definitely,
So,
yeah.
yeah. So if you start thinking about it, please go and do something that can actually lessen down your worries, your stress. Okay. So these are things that may lead to mental illness if you don't take care of it.
Hmm. Now, of course, when somebody is stricken with poorer mental health, right, whether it's the depressive disorder, early signs of depression, and so on, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult to say, I should feel better, I should be more positive, optimistic, and so on. What is your advice for somebody who is facing the early stages of mental health issues and further down the road as well?
Okay,
Mm.
actually, the first thing that, of course, you need to be more observant about yourself. Any one of us, we need to be more observant about the pattern of our thinking. If it's little bit out of the ordinary, maybe we can simple thing that you can do is talk to someone you can trust. Someone you can trust, because we know that if you keep your emotion inside, you just or you keep thinking that, oh, I do not want to tell this to someone because it will make somebody else worried. So this is something that you should take away from your mind, okay? Because you need help from the early stage. And a good friend or a good family member can be a really good help just by listening to you. So at least you're not suppressing your emotions inside. Okay? And actually in Malaysia we do have some lines, telephone lines that you can call or you can WhatsApp. Like we have the Italian Nur Kasih, Italian Kasih 15999. It's operating 24 hours. And also you can WhatsApp them now. You can find out about the WhatsApp. Okay, the number, if I can give it here, is 01926159999. Okay, but I think you can find out from the social media as well. And we actually have another good one by Mercy Malaysia. Okay, so if you just need to talk about your problems, you just need to let it out. Maybe nowadays we couldn't meet each other, right? You can't get in touch with your loved ones. They are staying so far away, and they might not understand. You can also call Talian Sokongan Psychosocial by Mercy Malaysia. Okay? So that would be a good PFA kind of thing to just talk about your issues first. Okay? They will definitely lend a hearing. Somebody will listen to you and help you with the feelings, inshallah.
Right. Talking to somebody that you trust, or getting to talk to somebody that you can trust from a professional standpoint, right? So that's a best way to deal with it, at least for a start, right? Okay, interesting point so far. We're going to go for a very short break, Dr. Ida. I'm going to put you on hold for about 30 plus seconds, right? And on return, more with Dr. Ida Hardina, who is a senior lecturer as well as a registered counselor from University of Malaya, right here on Spectrum on Traxx FM. Stay tuned here.
Enjoy rides and dips in the river with the elephants in Kuala Kanda. Traxx FM 105.3 Kuantan, Pahang.
Welcome back to Spectrum on Traxx FM. It's Kong Yu spending this point of the show, of the segment of the show that's what I mean, with Dr. Ida Hardina Ahmed Tarbi, who is a senior lecturer and also a registered counselor, senior lecturer at the University of Malaya. Thank you, Dr. Ida, for being with us.
Okay.
All right. Now we're talking about the importance and actually more importantly, right, how to care for one's mental health, particularly with the stresses and the challenges of the pandemic, right? And what's it brought on to us and affected all of us, albeit in very different ways, isn't it? Now, if we know somebody who is actually showing the signs and symptoms of poor mental health, possible depression, depressive disorders, and so on, how can we help? What's your advice? Because sometimes, when we want to help, it may backfire, or we may not know the best approach to do it, right? And so on. So what's your advice?
All right. So first thing, I would like to ask everybody to be more observant of your friends, of your surroundings. there will be people that need help, but they might not ask for it. Okay, so just be observant because just now I mentioned about the suicidal case. They just suffer alone. They do not want to talk about it because they think that people don't understand. And nowadays, due to the pandemic, we also have the white flag kind of thing, right? So be observant of your community or maybe just perhaps your loved ones. Once a while, if you think that they're starting to pull away from you, starting to pull away from your group of friends, do give them a call. It's not like checking, investigate what they are going through, but we can just say hello. We can just start a normal conversation to find out how they're doing. So caring for each other, that we say kita jaga kita, is more important now. This is time of challenges now because things are still in the we can say that things are being more tougher now on us, right? So everyone needs support, okay? And emotional support is perhaps the simplest thing that you can offer, okay? But it can help them further by, if you realize that they are having mental health issues, you can maybe ask them to meet up with somebody or call somebody who can help them, like the professionals. We do have counselors. I'm from Perkama International. We are Association of Counselors, and our counselors are registered counselors who can actually give services to those in need. Okay, and please do. Well, if you know that your families are having mental health issues, do not put them away. I mean, do not isolate them from you, okay, or your other family members, because this is what happens for some of those who doesn't feel the support from their family members, because they feel that their own family members are not giving them what they need. Their own family members would not listen to their challenges and maybe belittle them. So these are the things that can be avoided. But unfortunately, because we don't actually walk in somebody else's shoe too often, we think that, oh, they're okay, right? So empathy is the key thing to everything now, to help somebody with going through these mental health challenges. I think that is very important.
That's a key word there, empathy.
Yeah.
Right, be able to empathize and then, of course, extend a helping hand to continue, right, having a relationship and engagement, with the person.
We get something else, okay, because we know about the white flag issues now. So if you know that somebody in need of physical things, in need of food supplies, please help if you can, because I do hear some cases where, because of lacking in terms of life necessities, people fell into emotional problems. They feel that they couldn't cope with life, they lose hope, and finally they take the shorter way out, which is the suicide. So these are the things that if you can't you can't help emotionally, you might be able to help in terms of giving goods and supplies to them.
That's a good point as well, right? It doesn't always, although of course the key is emotional support, but sometimes it just boils down to food and security.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. Now, what's your advice in terms of what we can change? How can we improve our own lifestyle, right, to make sure that we take care of our mental health and mental well-being overall?
Okay, just now I mentioned that mental health comprises of a few things like our emotional well-being, our social well-being. Yeah. So and the most important thing is our physical well-being. Actually, if you're healthy, if you are having a very good quality life, okay, so it does help with having good mental health. So first thing, take care of your body. Please take care of your body. That's why we're talking about SOPs now. We're talking about how important for us to take care of our health. Okay, so that is the first key. Our body is the beginning of everything. Okay, and secondly, perhaps you can practice more mindfulness. Take some time off from the busyness of the day. Have some time to just be calm and connect with yourself. And for the Muslim, we can salat, we can zikir. And for the non-Muslim, maybe you can opt for yoga or anything that can just restore back your mindfulness. Okay? So, and of course, please do negative outlets. For example, please avoid from taking drugs, avoid from taking sleeping pills or alcohol, because it will only lead you to poorer physical health, which will affect your mental health. Okay, and one thing is which is very important, we do need to keep positive mindset. Okay, because if you don't have that positive mindset, it is quite difficult for us to go further down this road. It seems like everything is so much more challenging now, and I'm feeling hopeful about the future helps a lot. So it's time for us to accept the change that is going through at the moment. We should expect that our life is might not never going to be the same again, and just plan for something different, plan for something better. Even though you couldn't see you couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? But we must always plan our path, right?
Yep.
Okay, and I think it's good also if you want to keep a good mental health, do find a purpose in life. Meaning that, for example, now you can learn, give a helping hand to help others. Okay, maybe involved in some NGOs who are helping those in need. Right? Do small things that that gives you meaning in life. So because we thought just now, if you have a mental health problem, it means that you lose hope. You feel helpless, you feel hopeless. So if you give hope to others, you feel that it is good for you. It will help you a lot, right? So these are some of the things that we can do to be more proactive in our life. Don't just fall down into this trap of stress and worriness. We should increase our coping skills.
You're right. Yeah. Physical well-being is one in a way it's a shortcut, right? At least it can boost. Of course, physical health alone is important, but the linkage between physical health and how it can improve our overall feelings of happiness and joy is very important as well. Endorphins and all that. Yeah. So at least that's a great way to not just upkeep our physical health, but also elevate our mood. So very important to do exactly that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Ida. It's been enlightening, and thank you for key reminders as well as to how best we can deal with our own mental state, as well as how we can also extend a helping hand, a listening ear, right, to somebody who is in need.
Really be here.
And also the practical advice of what we can do to empower ourselves now, even though the end journey may not be clear, right, for many of us in terms of what we still need to maneuver through for the current pandemic situation. Yeah. So before we let you go, Dr. Ida, any final advice, any parting words to share with our listeners for today's session?
Okay, I think now is the time that we should keep our mental health intact. Okay, because and it is very important that we share this with our own family members. Okay, if before this one of we might not because of our life business, we might not have so much time with our family members. They might not be our priority support before this. Yeah, some people we might more involved with our friends when we go to work, with our colleagues. But now, since you have your family members all in one house, do share with each other your troubles. Okay, do be a support for your among yourself. Okay, and this is the time for you to really grow within your own family members. It is going to be very helpful for you to keep your mental health in a good condition.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ida.
Okay, thank you, Kang.
You're welcome. It was wonderful talking to you. You take care. Stay safe.
Okay, you too.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye. My special guests via the phone lines, as always, during this current period, over on Spectrum right now, yeah? Caring for your mental health during the pandemic is super important. So remember to see how that applies in your life to you, as well as, importantly, how you can care and, take care of those who are around you as well, yeah? Wrapping up Spectrum for this week. Of course, lots more to come right here on Traxx Momentum, so stay tuned.